Unit 6, Lesson 5, Video 3, Conditional Probability. As we mentioned earlier in the overview, conditional probability is going to be using two-way tables. Now, we have some examples here of little hints to help us know that we're doing a conditional probability. And one is a table. So you see that present in those three questions. But also the wording can dictate that we're doing a conditional probability. Now, notice that the probability of an event occurring, knowing that the other event has already occurred, is what makes something conditional. So the notation for a conditional probability has either this line in it. This line is very much the key to noticing that they're talking about conditional. And the verbiage that goes with it is given. Okay, so this says the probability of A given that B has occurred. So that's why we have an example here with the word given in it. So that's your condition. So what's the probability that a student likes hamburgers? Given that they are a sophomore. So they have to be a sophomore. That's locked in. That's the condition. And then from that information, you decide what's the probability that they like hamburgers. Another way to write it out is to use, again, this symbol, which means given. So a two-way table basically gives you two characteristics. The first one, you notice that we're talking about grade, and then the other one is talking about what things they like. So the condition says, in this particular example, we look at this one, what's the probability that it's a freshman given the student likes pizza? So what that does is it takes your eye and locks you in on just the pizza category. And from that information only, you ask yourself, what's the probability that it would be a freshman? Okay? If I look at another question right here, we can do a lot of things. Here we have gender is in question. Okay, that's one of the options. And then we have what class they take. I could ask a lot of conditional questions here, or a lot of different even probability questions, but this one says, what's the probability that the student you choose is a male, given that they take physiology? Now, physiology must be true. So we have to say, I'm going to focus on physiology, so it narrows my scope, and I look at only those numbers, and from those numbers I say, what's the probability that that student is a male? So again, it sets the stage, it sets your plate to be very focused. Back to this question, we have, again, two variables, one being grade, other being what food they like. Here the question says, what's the probability that the student prefers hamburgers given that they are a junior? Now the condition is they must be a junior. So you find the junior column and you focus your energies on that one. And you say, from those numbers, and only those numbers, what's the probability that they like hamburgers? And that would be this number right here. And again, we can do how to, you can learn how to do this in the how-to videos if you choose to. Okay, so again, with conditional probability, we'll be using tables, and there's notations that show you that it's conditional even without a table, and that's this line right here. This ends Unit 6, Lesson 5, Video 3.